have reached a complete and total ceasefire agreement, effectively ending what he called the 12-day war. However, Iran has completely refuted the claims that have been made by the US president and said that no agreement on ceasefire has been reached. In a Truth social post, Donald Trump has said, let's take you through what he has actually tweeted. He has put out a long message and he says, congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that here on there will be a complete and total ceasefire. So this is the post that he has put out, and he says a total ceasefire has been agreed between the two nations. He says in approximately 6 hours from now, in just about 1 hour back is when he put out this Truth social post. He says in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. So currently the missions that are going on, that will continue, but once that is wound down, that is when the ceasefire comes into effect. He says at that point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire. Upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, there will be an official end to the entire war. And look at what he calls it. He says it's the 12-day war. It will be saluted by the world, he says, after the end of the 12-day war. He says, on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries. He goes on to say this is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East. Remember, time and again, Donald Trump has spoken about peace. So he continues to do that as he says that there should be peace. God bless Israel, God bless Iran and the entire world. He signs off by saying the President of the United States. So this is the message that has come in from the US President Donald Trump as he speaks about it. We have consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary, who's joining us on the broadcast with the details of what is expected. So it's a very interesting message that has come in on social media. Of course, the US President Donald Trump is known to make these announcements on social media, whether or not it reflects on the ground, Srinjoy. But in this case, he says that there are currently missions that are taking place. Once that is wound down, which is about 6 hours from now, that's when the ceasefire comes into effect. How is this going to work?
Well, first of all, who would imagine that Donald Trump would use the following words, God bless Iran? Would you have imagined him using these words about 48 or 72 hours ago? The fact that he has is a sign that there is a ceasefire in the offing. But it's very important for both sides, all three sides, to show that they are victorious and are calling for ceasefire. Because in these situations, you need to show that you're victorious to your people and then say that, okay, we have won the war and therefore this is time for a ceasefire. Now the Americans and the Israelis can say that, look, we've destroyed the 3 nuclear facilities in Iran and therefore we have won. Our task is done. The Iranians can say that we have hit Israel very badly, we have hit Qatar, and we have hit American forces in Iraq as we have done in Qatar. So therefore, we have won. So if you can go back to your people with something to say and claim victory, then you're in a good position. And all three countries are in that position. Now, it must be said that the Qataris would have played a very important role in bringing all these countries to the table. The Iranians, the Americans, and the Israelis, because they have done a lot of these negotiations in the past, and they know the Iranians reasonably well. So as a result, the Qataris in Doha have played honest broker, and that's a positive sign as well. So as a result, if we take Donald Trump at face value, and in this case we have no choice but to, then it's a big moment for these 3 countries.
Yes.
It's a big moment for West Asia. It's a big moment for the world. And it's very big for India. Because as far as India is concerned, there are 9 million people in West Asia. And also India is hugely dependent on petroleum from West Asia. And India's economy
yes.
would falter if there were not, if supplies of petroleum were not coming in regularly.
And the entire world's economy, isn't it? So the entire world is going to heave a sigh of relief if this ceasefire actually holds. But right on cue, like you said, we have breaking updates coming.